We have a really interesting breaking news story that I just want to say a few quick informal words about. Kellyanne Conway is leaving the White House and George Conway is leaving the Lincoln Project, and I think this has a lot to do with their daughter, Claudia Conway. Now, if you don't know who Kellyanne Conway is, she's one of Trump's key insiders, and she's been with him since the beginning, even as a lot of people have left Trump. Either he's fired them or they've quit, sometimes a bit of both. But she's been there as a steadfast ally of Trump and his administration. She's even speaking at the convention, at the GOP, convention, at the RNC convention later on this week. And she's leaving on very short notice. And George Conway is her husband, and awkward as it is, he's a longtime Republican, but he's an anti-Trump Republican. And if you know about the Lincoln Project, it's this very big, very well-organized anti-Trump group staffed up by Republicans that want him out of power. They're still Republicans, but they're backing Biden, at least insofar as he can defeat Donald Trump. And so it's sort of torn this family apart. And then you have their young daughter. She's 15, 16 years old, still a child. She's a young woman. And she has come out very vocally as against Donald Trump, but also very critical of her parents, critical of her mother, especially because she works in the Trump regime, but also critical of her father because she doesn't believe in his broader conservative ideology, even if they happen to agree with the need to defeat Donald Trump. And she's been very vocal on TikTok and on Twitter, and it's often led to public fights with her parents. She's asked to be adopted by AOC. She's asked for emancipation, which is a very serious request that teenagers can make when they feel like their home isn't safe for them anymore, when they feel like it's safer for them as a child to basically be made an adult than live with their parents. And honestly, for Kellyanne Conway, I'm very torn here. I don't for 1 second have any sympathy for Kellyanne Conway. I don't. She knew what she was getting into when she got with Donald Trump. She knew him better than most, given that she saw him so much. She knew that he was an awful person and she was walking in to absolute chaos. And even if she didn't, under the slim chances she didn't know, she had years to get out and never did because she wanted to be close to the levers of power. And she thought that it was what was best for her and her career to be close to Trump while he did awful things to innocent people. And as her husband and other Republicans left the Republican Party, if only temporarily because of Donald Trump, she stuck in. But I am sympathetic about her need to help her family. And I think that's what her husband's doing as well. He basically noted on Twitter that, I'm taking a hiatus from the Lincoln Project and from Twitter. I don't know when I'll be back. I still want to defeat Donald Trump. He's still a danger to this country, but I have things to deal with. And I think it's actually good. They're both taking times to hopefully fix their family's issue. Maybe I'm too soft. Maybe I'm a bit of a softie, but a lot of people are saying this is only Kellyanne Conway, as a rat jumping off the ship, that she knows Trump is done for, or she feels he's done for, and this is the time for her to jump off, because if she leaves now, she sort of leaves without being forced out via a big Joe Biden victory in November. But I also think it can be two things at once. It can be that Donald Trump is sinking and she doesn't want to be dragged down in the undertow. I think that's possibly a part of it. Although she is speaking at the convention, she is one of the key voices there. One of the few key voices that isn't related to Trump. So I don't fully buy that. But I think it can also be that she's worried about her family and she's worried about her daughter. Honestly, I don't know what to think about this, guys. I need to mull it over a little bit more. But I think it's a very fascinating story. And with young people being very outspoken, the Zoomers are way more political than I was when I was a teenager. And I'm a political guy, you guys know this. But they're way more engaged and active than I ever was as a young person, as a teenager, or even in my early 20s. It's incredible. But when you combine that with social media, I think this sort of story with Claudia Conway is just the start of children of politicians and of political operatives really struggling to find their voice in a modern society. So honestly, and I mean this with all sincerity, Kellyanne Conway, you're a monster, and you deserve every political and career failure you get for the rest of your gosh darn life. But I hope you can work it out with your family. Your daughter deserves better than what she's been getting.